recipe on kale chips, and if you're not familiar with kale, this is what it is. It's a green leafy vegetable that's super packed with nutrition and health benefits, and it's actually a superfood. So one of its health benefits is that it's packed with vitamins, so it actually has vitamin A, K, and C in it. It's really high in antioxidants and anti-inflammatory qualities, which means that it's really good for preventing cancer. It's also really great for diet, digestion, and detox. So usually chips have an unhealthy quality to them, but considering we're using kale and all the good stuff we just heard about it, it's actually a really healthy, good snack for you. So all you're going to need to make kale chips is of course kale, then you're also going to need some olive oil and some salt. The first thing to do is really thoroughly wash and dry your kale. So we have to make sure that it's super clean and also super dry, because if it's damp, we won't get a really crispy texture. That's what we want. The only parts of the kale that we want to turn into chips are the leaves. So that means we have to separate it off the stem. So we're just going to do that by running our finger along the stem and getting all of the leaves off. And any stem that breaks off the top, it's good enough for us to eat, so we can turn that into chips as well. But the stem, the main part of the stem that's down here, we're going to not use. Now we're going to be breaking up these leaves into bite-sized pieces, almost the size of like chips or something, and we're just going to be placing that into a bowl. For the amount of kale that I'm using, I think a teaspoon of olive oil is sufficient, so I'm just going to measure that out and drizzle it all over the kale. Then you can add your salt as desired. I try not to add too much just because it kind of defeats the purpose of it being healthy, but do it to taste and what you prefer. Now place your kale onto your cooking tray that's lined with baking paper. Now place it into the oven on about 150 or 160 degrees for about 10 to 15 minutes, but it does depend on your oven, but just keep checking it to make sure it doesn't burn, because this will burn pretty easy. And this is what they should look like once they've come out of the oven and cooled. So they are super crispy. If I'll just touch them, and you can hear that these are basically like chips, and they have the same effect. They have that crunchy, salty taste, and these are a great replacement for chips. So much healthier for you because of all of the nutrients that are packed into this kale. So if you want to read a little bit more about kale, I'll link a blog post down below of where I blogged all about kale, and you can learn more about it. Kale on its own is really bitter and not the best tasting thing ever, so making them into a salty chip like this actually makes it taste really good. So it turns something that you probably wouldn't have eaten because it's not so delicious into something that you would eat, and all of the nutritional aspects of it are still really great, even though it is sort of like a chip or snack. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed this recipe. Let me know if you've already tried kale chips before, or if you're going to try my recipe. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you really soon in my next video. Bye everyone.